out, search on the streets for the empty cigarette packs. Those days, Bristol, Charminar, Foursquare, these were the famous brands. And each brand, depending upon that, we used to add a value. We used to cut them and make them into pieces like cards. And if it is Charminar, it is 10 rupees. If it is Bristol, it is 40 rupees. Like that, and then we used to play the Bombay game on the streets. We enjoyed like that. That was our life. And never ever went like you all by buses to school. It was only 11 number bus. That is, go by walk to school always. So I have studied in a government school, Arundathi, which was located, situated about 3 kilometers away from my house. And it was a great pleasure for us to walk from home to the school, because on the way we used to have a picnic bakery. A nice smells used to come, and we were so innocent. Right from the first class, it was by 11 number bus only. So on the way when we used to see the picnic bakery, the smells coming out of it, I used to always think why I have not born in this house, so that I would have enjoyed eating biscuits all through my life. Why did I born in this house? That was the only thinking, but I never used to think how they started the shop, never ever we set such goals. Happily used to go to the school, and you will be surprised to know what were our snacks. The mango pickle pieces, we used to wash and keep them in the geometry boxes, and then we used to take home to the school. During our intervals, that was the snack. We used to eat those mango pickle pieces. We had such a liberty. Our parents made us understand right from the day one that we give you food and education. It's left to you how you mold your life and what kind of a life you want to lead. That freedom was given to us. So because of that freedom today, we are like this. For our parents, it was only the education and discipline. But right now, as a head of the institution, I've been a teacher for almost 35 years in my journey. The present it is only education, studies and marks. The discipline is totally missed from the syllabus of the parents at all. So I'm really wondering, like I've seen the past 3 generations moving out from underneath my hand. I'm seeing there's a sea of change. Because parents never set any goal to us at all that you have to achieve. For them, behavior was the report card. They used to believe that, discipline. And I also feel that, as Aristotle said, education begins at home and ends at home, and the parents are the first role models for the children. I strongly believe this because this is the values we have learned helped us to grow. Everybody says that education gave us knowledge, education made us achieve power, it helped us to earn money and all. But in my case, education gave me confidence to live happily. That's what I'm very grateful to my teachers and my parents. If those days the government school would have not provided me an education for ₹2 per annum, today I would have not been here. I would have not done my MPhil in education, and I would have not started an organization. Class 10, but I never studied. What I did was, on the way to school, I used to always look at all the gods, all the temples which were situated on the road, and pray that I should pass my class exam. I should pass my annual exam. But how can I pass? Like that, I passed my time till class 10, only praying to the God, but never touched the books, nor never made an effort to study. And when the 10th class result came, I was shocked because I failed in math. When I went and told my mother and father, they said, fine, it's okay. You have the next exam, so sit sincerely, diligently, prepare. That day I have decided that I must sit, I must prepare. That lasted only for 2 days. Third day, the same story, go out with the friends, play on the roads. So I never prepared again, and second time also I failed in math. Then my mother called me and said, we have a neighbor uncle who is very good in math. Why don't you go and request that uncle, he will help you. Then when I went to that uncle and said, uncle, I want to pass in math, just get me a pass mark. He made me sit and understood that I am such a dunce that you should learn. He made me by heart the sums. Then I by-hearted all the sums exactly to that mark and then went and appeared for the exam. Great, I have passed class 10. Then I told my parents that, see, math is such a dreadful subject, I will never touch this subject in my lifetime, and I chose history, economics and civics in intermediate. And I have joined in inter college. It was a ladies' college, Mahbubia those days it was called. But unfortunately, in economics again, statistics appeared. I felt dreadful again, and then I tried, this time I decided that I must do my graduation, and then I prepared, I struggled and got through the intermediate with third class mark. Then I felt how to overcome this fear of math, which I should never touch a math in my lifetime at all. Then I called up my aunt and asked, Auntie, can you suggest me one course where I won't come across math? Then she said, there's a course called BSW, Bachelor's in Social Work. Why don't you go and join in that course, then you will not come across this math subject. And when I went to the college, first day I was very disappointed because the college was situated in between the mortuary rooms of Nilofer Hospital and Cancer Hospital. Every day morning when we used to go, we were greeted with only the cries and then amputated legs, and that was the first time I've seen such kind of a life. Slowly that's where the awakening started. And added to this, my father had a very major setback in his health. He had high blood pressure for 1 long year, and then both the kidneys have failed. And he was diagnosed with the renal failure, and they asked at those days the transplantation, leave about transplantation, there was no facility for dialysis also. If at all there was a dialysis, it was not hemodialysis. Hemo is done on the machine. It was a peritoneal dialysis which used to be done like, in a very manual manner, and it was like very painful process. And he was diagnosed with, and the doctor said that he needs a transplant, but it is at Bombay, Jaslok Hospital. For us, a middle class family, Jaslok Hospital was a 7-star hotel. And those days, there were no cadaver transplantations. It was only the family members are supposed to donate kidney to relatives or own family members. And that's where, and we needed a lot of money to go to the Jaslok. Then my father approached his office government, and they said, fine, we will reimburse, first you invest and then you go to the hospital. And that's where my struggle in our life started. I have 4 siblings and I'm the youngest in the family. By then my father had this renal failure. My elder sister was married and my second sister was married. And the third sister was on the way of her marriage, getting ready. And my brother, who was elder to me, I was having only one brother. So I was the 5th one. So the debate has taken place, who has to donate the kidney to the father. Then ruled out, the first one is ruled out because married, has to take the permissions of in-laws. Second one is also ruled out. Then the third one. Those days when I was young, getting married was very difficult because you have to pay huge dowry and all that system was existing. And my parents felt that since the third sister was ready for the marriage, if they come to know that she has, because not having one organ in the body was, I think it was a big taboo those days, like people used to not understand what it was. It's lack of awareness. So my parents said that I don't think we can advise her to give it up. Then who next? My brother, only one son. Then how? Then I was the only one option. Then they were looking at me, but they never asked me. But I felt that, yes, I must do it. But legally, I was not fit to give because I was 17 years old then. My father was on dialysis for 1 long year. And then when I turned on April 2nd, 18, April 3rd, the renal transplant took place in Bombay. He just kept quiet when I offered. But I heard him one day when he was talking to my mother that actually I am not interested to take a kidney from a young girl like her because I am seeing how much I am suffering right now because of the failure. But I have 3 more kids to settle down in their life. If I work for another 4 long years, I can settle down my children well. With that only I wanted to have a kidney transplant, otherwise I am never interested. When I heard that, I felt very proud. Like at that particular point also he was thinking that he has to settle the children. So when he has such good intention, I thought better I would do it. See, I never regret anything happens in the life, it happens for our good. Because I have learned the best lessons in my life at Jasloke Hospital. Because the first lesson I have learned, as till I went to Jasloke, I used to think how lucky these people are in the hospital. They made so much of money. They could afford. So that's why today they are all here. We should also make money. Money is very important in life. Because of money we are suffering like this, I used to think. But my father, when we were in the hospital, the neighbor person who was in the hospital, even he had a renal failure. And he had 2 sons and very filthy rich man. And he was behind his sons for donation of the kidney. But both the sons refused. And then ultimately he had to die. Before he was leaving the hospital, he just came to my father's room and he just patted. He said, Mr. Reddy, you are very lucky because I was running behind the money and you are running behind the values. So today your values have paid back. That's where I have learned the lesson that money is to support us. We should never run behind the money. Money should run behind us. Then when I came back, I told my mother, like I was very dead against, like I'll complete my degree and then I'll sit at home. I'll work, but I don't want to do any further studies. I put a full stop at the degree. I came back, but unfortunately my father passed away because, so the hardships have started. Till then I used to think I should put a full stop to degree and sit at one. Then my mother said, I'm handsome with all the money and everything. It's you have to make your life decision, how you want to settle down in life. I never wanted to enter into the education field. It really changed my career. I've become a full-time teacher and which today I enjoy every day. As a teacher, my life, I really enjoy because you are among the innocent students of 3+ to 15+. So much, no malice in the children. They're young, they make mistakes. Every day we learn from them. I started the first school in my house only where I was living, in a rented house with an investment of 15,000 rupees. That 15,000 rupees was my PF amount, and in that 7,500 rupees I gave as a rent advance for the house, and the next I kept it for my expenditure for printing of application forms, registration forms, all that. And then I started the school. First year itself, I have got about 130 children and we were having 7 teachers, and my monthly expenditure was 7,500 and yearly revenue was 65,000 rupees. Today, after 28 years, I look back today, by 5th of every month, I need 70 lakhs rupees paycheck to give it to my employees. So what I am trying to tell you all my youngsters is that there is no substitute for hard work. If you do hard work, it pays, it results good work. And good work always pays off to you all. We need not be intelligent, we need not one thing. Before I close, I just wanted to share one small mythological story which I read when I was young. Because your life is, you have to utilize it. See, I read it and the story says that when Brahma came, he created the universe. He came down to see what I have created, how the world looks like. When he came down, he first saw human being and he was impressed and he said, Sukhi Bhava, live for 40 long years. Then the human being said, sir, I want to live 100 years, then you are saying only 40 years. He said, I don't know how many more I can come across, so for time being you please live for 40 years, and he gave us 40 years. And then he went further ahead, then he saw an ass carrying the loads. Then he said, Sukhi Bhava, live for 40 years, then ass said, sir, please don't wish at all like that, because these human beings are misusing me, they are making me carry the loads. I want to live only for 20 years. Then the God said, okay, live for 20 years. Human being who was adjacent to the God said, can I take the 20 years? God said, yes, please take it. Further he went by another half a kilometer, then he came across a dog. He said, Sukhi Baba, 40 years. Dog said, I am tired guarding this house of the human beings. I don't want that 40 long, give me only 20 years life. Then the person said, sir, give me that also. He said, come on, take it 20. Then he has become 60. Then further, like he went further ahead. And then he came across an owl. He said, 40 years. Owl said, please don't do that. Because I'm tired. When the whole world is asleep, I'm awake. When I'm awake, the whole world is asleep. So I don't want, this is a miserable life for me. So you can give up, I don't want 20. Then all these 360 years he gave to the human being. Then for us, what is the lifespan? 100 years. So children, in that 40 of your life is only a true your life where you can enjoy, you can do whatever you want. The next 20 years, what you will do? Like us. You will carry, you have to look after your children, you have to give them education. You will be serving only to the family. Once they are done, then your dog life starts. They'll get married, they'll have grandchildren, then you have to safeguard them. Take them to the school, bring them back to the school. Do all that safeguarding of the house. And the last 20 years, when we reach 80 years, definitely we'll have some or the other sickness. All through the night, we won't get sleep. When everybody sleeps, we are awake. So your life, 40 years of your life is very, very important. You can live your life. So the 40 precious years, please make use of it and build a firm foundation for your life and see that you are secure, safe, happy and strong.